If you're anything like me, you're probably sick to the back arse of people telling you about some fantastic American TV series they've gotten into, banging on and on about how Curb Your Feet Under Sopranos, or whatever, is such a searing work of bloody genius, yeah, that if you don't watch it, you might as well hurl yourself under the nearest bus for crimes against cultural sanity. Trouble is, who has the time to watch all these searing works of bloody genius? There's just too many of them. You'd die of old age first with your brittle, wizened, disgusting old person's fingers desperately trying to open that 250-episode box set. Fortunately, there is a simple solution. Only watch one of them. The best one, which is, without a shadow of a doubt, The Wire. On the face of it, The Wire is a drama about a perpetual war of attrition between police and drug dealers on the streets of Baltimore. But simply calling it a cop show is a bit like calling The Godfather a film about a few dodgy Italians. The Wire isn't a simple good guys v bad guys caper. It expands beyond that, examining politics, institutions and society as a whole. It transcends its subject matter and indeed the confines of TV drama full stop to become an important, angry work of art. Yes, work of art, the televisual equivalent of an urgent epic novel. All of which makes it sound as piss dull as medicine, which it absolutely isn't.
Go, Doctor, go!
Now, it's hard to quickly sum up The Wire, and it's even harder to explain why it inspires such evangelical fervour amongst its fans. Unfortunately, that's exactly what I'm supposed to be doing in this programme. Mainly, however, I just want to persuade you to watch it because it's brilliant. So sod your whole, I don't care what The Wire is attitude. You will get into it or die trying.
Jungle made of concrete and bricks, they make vacant buildings where the fiends get sick. The streets is where we eat and sleep, and you either live or you die like a piece of shit. It's the Baltimore Zoo, animals run wild. You can put your guns up or you can get gunned down where you don't really want to be the talk of the town. Hey, yeah, it's the Cold Lion, it's the Baltimore Zoo.
So we've established that I think The Wire is superb, but don't take my word for it. Look, I'm clearly an idiot. Instead, why don't you listen to somebody altogether more respectable, like him, or him, or him. He'll do, not him. Oh, let's start with him.
I'd say it's the best TV show I've ever seen.
The Wire is better than anything on television. It's that simple.
Well, it's the greatest TV show ever been made. I mean, that's all you have to say, really.
I heard about The Wire from an American musician friend who'd been watching the series in the States, and he sent me an email saying that it was the best thing he'd seen since Abigail's Party. And that was a really intriguing recommendation to me because he was talking about the history of television.
It's like an underrated masterpiece that everyone should see, and it's like a secret as well, because you sort of, it's one of those things you want to tell people about it, but at the same time, you sort of don't want it to be too popular because it's like your own secret thing.
I'm going to WA, that's Wireistas Anonymous. Hi, my name's Alexi and I'm addicted to The Wire.
Well, I think once you've become addicted to The Wire, lots of other TV programmes seem like pretty thin gruel. When CSI or whatever finds a bloke dead, killed with a golf ball, lying in a million golf balls, then you just say, okay, well, yes, I presume that would be hard to find out which golf ball. When I tell people how much I love The Wire, I've often been recommended The Shield, which is a very good and very dark series, but still conforms to that 1 hour episode where things get wrapped up at the end.
Shows like Law and Order, in a way, are kind of disturbing, especially the Special Victims Unit, because they take the most serious crimes and incest, rape and stuff, but they're still being written by Hollywood writers in a Hollywood format, so everything's tied up nicely after an hour. And I think, really, in a way, that's kind of wicked.
It seems to me that The Wire is the closest thing to a really great novel. There's a kind of novelistic density to the programme that I think must come from people used to working at that length and with that kind of sort of 400 or 500 page ambition. TV hasn't even attempted to do what The Wire attempts to do, and attempting even the attempt to do what The Wire is doing is a kind of seismic shift in television that It's great. It's really exciting to be around for it, you know.
As good as Abigail's Party or your money back.
The Wire also doubles as a kind of bipolar love letter to the city of Baltimore, so we're better to discuss it than a boarded up, derelict old shell. Or we could just go to Baltimore.
What you know about Baltimore? What you know about Baltimore? Baltimore. What you know about Baltimore? What you know about...
So, welcome to Baltimore, or Willkommen aus in Baltimore if you're hearing in German. A 45-minute drive from Washington, D.C. Charm City, birthplace of the Star-Spangled Banner, home to the Baltimore Orioles and these delicious Chesapeake Bay crabs. All well and good, but this is the stuff of bumper stickers, not the Baltimore as exposed by The Wire. The Wire is concerned with the other Baltimore, the Baltimore with a murder rate 6 times that of New York. The Baltimore known with dark affection as Bodymore, Murderland. That's the Baltimore I'm going to see. The Wire is firmly rooted in reality, so we're better to start than talking to some real Baltimore residents, figures from both sides of the street. Jeff and James here grew up in the projects and, like many local characters, actually appear on the show. So, tell me what The Wire is.
It's life. It's life. It's life.
But how realistic is it?
It's real true. It's real true. It's like, I can honestly say it's like 99.9%.
See this? This the kingpin, all right? And he the man. You get the other dude's king, you got the game.
Could you explain what the game is?
The game is just getting money. Getting money, selling. Whatever your hustle is, that's what it is.
I mean, it's real easy. Just selling smack.
Smack. Heroin. Got some dudes that's actually making $25,000, $30,000 a day.
So how do you get to be the king? It ain't like that. See, the king, stay the king, all right?
Then you got your homeboys is looking like, okay, getting a lot of money. We get ready to blow his head off.
So that's terrifying to me.
Yeah.
Is that how dangerous is it?
Yeah, really.
All right, what about them little bald-headed bitches right there? The pawns, man, in the game, they get capped quick. They be out the game early.
And this was a lifestyle that you were living, so, I mean, you were in the game. How did you get into it?
I needed stuff. I wanted to live like a rock star before it was my time. My parents couldn't afford it, so I'm gonna do what I do.
And what other options are there? I mean...
None. Because when you're not old enough to work, or you have a criminal record, like a felony or something, it's like, there's no other option.
As it stands now, we know that economics drives drugs. We need to find a more sound economic base for our young folk to participate in, find entry-level jobs, and give them an opportunity, a sense of hope, so they don't have to rely on the streets as their only means of support.
Mostly every cop that I know that's male, like all our girls. Like the drug dealers that got the girls, they like our girls. I mean, a cop would come because he like your girl with a fat ass and know you sell drugs and put all this effort into throwing you in jail just so he can get to her. I'm telling you serious shit.
Hey, Jimmy. Call Nadine and tell her I called one and I'm out on the street.
What do you think of the police on the show? There was one cop in season 4 who was going around sort of stealing stuff off the kids.
Little you slinging?
No, sir, swear to God.
Hell, you ain't. How else you walking around with 200 in your pocket?
My foster mother gave me that to buy school clothes with.
Tell her to come down to the Western, and I'll give it back to her.
Yeah. That's like real life. Taking their money, beating them up, breaking their fingers.
Planting drugs on people.
That's not sportsmanlike.
No, it's not sportsmanlike.
Go ahead, play that camera.
We're the heavy guys. We're the guys that come in and throw the handcuffs on. But we must do more than that. We can't arrest our way out of this problem. Young folk are not a threat. We have to treat them as if they are a viable part of our community. And one of the things we have to do is show the other side of policing, and that we are about prevention, not just suppression.
It's serious down here. It's hard down here. You can shoot and kill. I mean, I'm right here on this camera right now. I can get a beef with anybody behind this camera right now. Punch anybody in the mouth. They go get somebody. They'll come around the corner. I'm gonna be like a man. We gonna get the beef and the fussing. If stuff coming to the guns, he with my cousin. We gonna pull out the guns. We gonna get the blasting. Y'all gonna be like, well, y'all shouldn't be in it because y'all here filming this. But that's how things is down here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta be very polite. Social skills is mandatory. Mandatory.
Nah, man, no thanks.
But you ain't gotta do nothing for it.
No, thank you, man.
And tell us about some of the things you've seen.
Like kids, they coming out of the womb with guns, not bottles. They coming out with guns. What I mean by little kids is like between the ages of like 7 to like 15.
Yeah.
With guns at 7.
Yeah, you say something to one of these little kids, there's no, I'm gonna get my big brother, I'm gonna go get my aunt or my father, somebody is, I'm gonna get my gun.
What sort of guns are we talking about?
AK-47s, Uzis, 9s, Desert Eagles, 50 cals. It's like ridiculous.
But it seems quite tranquil to me sitting here now. We can hear birds chirping and everything. But I mean, it's not particularly safe around here.
It's 2 o'clock right now, and then it's fairly hot outside, so nobody really want to be out here. Come back at like maybe 6:30, 7 o'clock, you wouldn't even want to sit right here.
For decades now, poverty, crime and drugs have ravaged the Baltimore projects, leaving a forgotten generation in their wake. The Wire highlights these problems, but it refuses to offer any trite solutions to them. Coming up, my tour of Baltimore continues and I talk to some of the talent involved in this unique and complex show.